Anmore. It's a village an hour from Vancouver, on the way to Bunsen Lake, and is so boring that the last big media story on anything happening there was town outrage over a massive house party with helicopters and influencers. But now politics in Anmore is as heated as it has been in years. And like a lot of BC, it's about housing.
It's just a matter of time before we're just like Port Moody.
That is Neil Lyons, a director of the Anmore Residents Association. And the thing that would put Anmore down the slippery path to Port Moody? A proposed development of 150 acres of mostly forested land, which would have 2,200 housing units in a mix of homes, townhomes, commercial spaces, and apartments 6 stories or less in size, while connecting Anmore to Metro Vancouver's sewage system instead of being on septic. It's the type of proposal that is pretty common if you're in Vancouver, Surrey, or Richmond, but people don't move to Anmore for that.
I like the rural ambiance and I like the quiet. I just love the feel of the community, and I believe everybody here feels that same way.
The owners of the land are Icona Properties, and not surprisingly, they see it different.
I think they like their lifestyle that they have here. And, you know, I'm sure when my parents moved to Poco in 1970 and it was 19,000 people, they liked that sort of semi-rural character that they had. But we've all grown as a region.
That is Greg Moore, who used to be mayor of nearby Port Coquitlam. Now he's Icona's CEO. And he thinks most residents in Anmore actually want what they're pitching.
We hear from a lot of people that are the silent majority that want the community center, they want commercial, they want to be able, when their kids leave their home, that they don't have to leave Anmore.
Of course, people opposing the project believe they are the silent majority, which is why they're calling for a referendum.
We're grassroots democratic people in Anmore, I believe, and I think that the people really want to be asked that question, and they seem to be avoiding it.
But traditionally, referendums in local politics are only around financing projects or big governing issues, not land use, which means it will be up to council, and they seem inclined to support a change that would make any rezoning legal.
I'm very hopeful that if people can get over this elitist bent that they're trying to keep those less fortunate than ourselves out of the community, and start to see that young people can rejuvenate our schools and bring color to the community, I'm hopeful they'll come together and understand positives to something different there.
Of course, it can be hard to get people to come together if you imply they're elitist, but if you look at home values, the councillor has a point. Here is a chart. It shows the median listing price of all single-family homes for sale in Metro Vancouver municipalities. And because of how big the acreages are, Anmore is right near the top of the list. One thing is for sure, Anmore is different from most places in Metro Vancouver. The question for council is whether that should change. Justin McElroy, CBC News, Vancouver.